Hey everyone, this is Alicia Cooper, Miss Cooper Home Loans. I am a local lender here in Delaware. I'm licensed in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida. I've been getting a lot of questions in regards to the mortgage forbearance information, 0% interest rates, and whether or not you have to pay your rent at this time. So I want to first start out by saying that we know there are a lot of people who are experiencing financial hardship at this time. And we have seen our government speak up and provide relief in a lot of ways by telling the general public that there are opportunities out there if you are not in the position to make your mortgage payments or rent at this time. So yes, your rent is due, your mortgage payment is due, and we are all affected by this. But if you need forbearance when it comes to a mortgage, I'll start there. The thing you need to do is first contact your lender. You need to contact your lender and get clarity on what, in fact, a forbearance means to that creditor. So a forbearance does not mean automatically that the payments that you are not making are going to automatically go to the end of your loan. All right, that is up to the creditor on how they choose to restructure your agreement in regards to making your payments on time. Also, I read an article today in the Washington Post that the credit reporting agencies have not stated that this is not going to have a negative impact on your credit score. They did say they would code the delinquencies differently during this period, but it still will have a negative impact, and the information will show that you are delinquent at this time. So, just to sum it up, if you need help, definitely reach out for help. Forbearance actually has always been there, and loan modifications for those that are in need, if you qualify. So reaching out to your creditor, in fact, is something good to do. Just keep in mind, particularly when you do that, that information is still going to be held on record. And, if you are going to need to go back to that lender potentially to borrow additional funds, that information is going to show. And if you need to go to another lender or apply for another loan down the road, it could have a severe impact against your credit when it comes to your mortgage history. Now, in regards to rent. So at this time, I'm a landlord. There's a lot of landlords out there. We cannot evict someone. And honestly, who wants to be that landlord to evict during this time? So they will probably potentially work with you more now than ever, because we're all trying to get through this together. So make sure you communicate with your landlord and communicate when you believe you're going to be able to pay. So if you have if you're completely out of work, and you've applied for unemployment, whether you qualify or not, you need to keep in mind that, this bill is still adding up. This is not a forgiveness. It is a potential for a forbearance. So that rent is going to be due in the next month and the next month. So whether it is you getting new income, or if we have to potentially just have that conversation that, this isn't feasible at this time. But no landlord wants to put a tenant out ever. I mean, it takes a lot to get a place ready to go back onto the market. So I truly ask that you take the time to contact your landlord and communicate with them during this time, particularly because you don't know, your landlord may have a mortgage to pay as well. And if they don't make their mortgage payment, then you won't have a place to live. We have to think about how this affects everyone overall, and throughout this information that we're getting, how is it going to affect you? So I hope that you getting the information triggers you to pick up the phone or send an email to your landlord, creditor, on how you can put yourself in a better financial position moving forward. So the stimulus package, the payment protection funds are, I believe that application starts tomorrow. They're already available, the SBA 7(a) applications for those that are experiencing economic injury due to the coronavirus. So there are funds and applications out there to assist you. Here in the state of Delaware, I believe Governor Carney, along with the Delaware State Housing Authority, are offering even assistance for those who rent to help you cover your rent during this time. None of the funds have been dispersed as of yet. The applications are available, but there's usually about a 3-week turnaround time, even in the fastest, when it comes to government agencies being able to get their systems, their financials together to get the money out to the consumer as soon as possible. And any other questions? So like I said, right now, this is not a freeze on your credit. You need to talk to your creditor in order to take advantage of a forbearance if that is something that you need, because it is very important to protect your credit during this time. Many of you may remember when some of the relief programs came out after the housing crisis. And those programs all required you to have a 620 credit score. The SBA 7(a) program requires you to have, usually most lenders do require at least a 620, 640 credit score. Did I say 720? I meant to say 620. So with the relief programs, there's usually a credit score associated with government-backed agencies, unless it is a true income or welfare program. All right, we have a question here. Are we paying the stimulus back? So there are, in regards to the stimulus check that is coming from the federal government through the IRS, I don't believe you have to pay that back. That check is going to be based on your 2008 or 2019 income and family size, and that money is going directly to you. No additional application needs to be done as long as you've completed your tax returns for that period, and that money is there to offer relief to all homeowners. All people that qualify at this time. Do we have any other questions in regards to the stimulus, the SBA, forbearance for mortgages? So just to be clear, the payments are due. Rent is still due. Your mortgage is still due. So you do need to pick up the phone and do something. You need to contact your creditor and be in communication with your landlord so that will not have a negative impact against your credit. In regards to the stimulus check, you do not need to do anything outside of just filing your taxes. Okay, another question. Is this the best time to purchase a home? Honestly, it's always a good time to purchase a home if you don't have one. Now may be an opportunity, because right now per se may not be the best time because it's very difficult to get in and out of homes, but realtors are getting really good at these virtual tours, and allowing homeowners to see and access a home without even physically having to go in regards to the programs and the finances that are available at this time. If you are still currently employed and you do not own a home, you need to get one. As you can see, the majority of the relief goes to those that have a mortgage, the homeowner, not necessarily the renter slash tenant. Any other questions? All right, so we had a few additional people jump on this live. So I'm gonna recap. So I titled the live today, Yes, Your Rent and Mortgage Payment is Still Due. So when it comes to your rent and your mortgage, they are due. All right, you are not automatically enrolled in any type of forbearance. You are not automatically issued a stay by your landlord simply because they are unable to evict at this time. What you need to do as a consumer, it is very important that you communicate with your landlord and your mortgage company at this time. All right, so that you can take advantage of the forbearance if it is needed, and understand what the forbearance will mean to you. So forbearance does not automatically mean that the payments are going to be added to the back of the loan. Many of the mortgage companies, when I've read their notices and frequently asked questions online, they are stating basically they may defer the payment, and then in that 60 and or 90-day period, the entire payment is going to be due at that time. If you are out of work and you need to take advantage of that, it is something there for you to take advantage of. As I mentioned, it does not mean that it will not have a negative impact on your credit score. So you need to make sure that you are communicating and properly understand how the forbearance will affect you in the long run, particularly if you are still employed and you don't need that relief at this time. Okay, so it is there for those that need it. And keep in mind, if you are looking to potentially refinance, if that was on your list of things to do, rates are still low. We need a 12-month mortgage history. If you are in a forbearance, it may disqualify you from being able to take advantage of a refinance while these rates are so low. So in regards to the forbearance, it is a forbearance. It is not a forgiveness. Those payments will still be due, and it is up to the creditor on how and when they will deem that those payments are due. It does not automatically mean they are moved to the end of the loan. Okay? And as I mentioned, the credit bureaus have decided that they will code late payments during this time differently, but they are still reporting as late. That is going to have an impact on your credit score. And if you are looking to be eligible for potentially other things down the road, we know how important it is to protect our credit. Credit is a privilege. So if you need to take advantage of this, we're here to tell you, hey, contact